Hey there, Laker fans. Welcome to Lakers Detailed. In this episode, I wanted to talk a little bit about some of the stuff that we've seen over like the past two games with Luka and with Austin specifically, in regards to some of their isolation play, as well as just stuff that's probably making their lives a little bit more difficult than it really needs to be. Before I continue on, if you guys ever do get the chance when you watch this video, hit the like and subscribe button on YouTube. That always helps the channel out and helps the video kind of do the YouTube algorithm thing. If you'd like to support the pod, you could always join the Detailers Club, which you can find on the YouTube channel too as well. It's a way for you guys to show support for the channel on a monthly basis. So let's continue. Last night, LeBron doesn't play, and Luka and Austin have really poor shooting games, and the Lakers in general as a whole team, outside of like Jordan Goodwin, Gabe Vincent, Dalton Connect. Everybody else just kind of was not that great offensively. But I wanted to sort of focus last night because of the level of competition we played against on Luka and Austin, and it's just something that I've seen them do. It sort of happened in the Boston game too as well. It's not a concern, but it's something that I think it's making their life a little bit more difficult. When the Lakers run their mismatch hunting sort of offense, which is organized to some degree. They're specifically trying to find a matchup. They allow Austin and Luka to go into these one-on-one situations. But what's happening is even after the advantage is created, or in the situations where Austin or Luka have their advantages created, they're doing stuff to try to play for the contact. Either they're trying to create the contact, or they're trying to anticipate the contact. And as a result of that, their shots are looking a little bit more unusual. I actually think it's throwing them off of rhythm. So what I wanted to do in this video is just kind of give a few examples of what that looks like. So I clipped a few plays from that Nets game, last night's Nets game, to give an idea. So let's take a look at that. Let me turn off the volume on this. So let's start with this play here. So Austin gets the switch that he wants. He gets Tyrese Martin, and now he's got basically an advantage. So right off the hip, you see Tyrese Martin not be able to stay up with Austin as he makes this move. As he drives, I'll slow it down so that we come back. You'll see as this play happens, Austin's got him beat on the hip, right? He's pretty much got a clear lane. Dayron's going to be frozen here because he's worried about Trey Jameson getting the drop-off pass. And you could see as Austin does this play, he's trying to create this left bump contact right here. You see he kind of he goes into Tyrese Martin. Tyrese Martin keeps his hands to himself. But you see how it like kind of looks a little unnatural, like as opposed to him going straight to the rim. That's one of the things, like that's an example of something that's been making life difficult for Austin. He did this a couple of times last night in different scenarios. So it's something that I think the Lakers have to be very, very careful of. So taking a look at the next one, this is a very simple inbounds pass, 5 seconds left in the game. So Austin goes to create this contact. Look at where this play starts. Like Austin catches this. Cam Johnson's way, way behind the play. So Austin's trying to create advantage with Cam being aggressive, leans into him, falls back, shoots the ball, creates a contact, misses the shot. Nothing good comes from that. So it's one of those things where like I understand the idea behind using the defender's aggressiveness to create foul and one opportunities. It's like something that they've done all season. But like last night's game, when you don't have it going, I think it actually makes it more difficult for them to gain a rhythm. And Austin was off like all night. I think he was like 0 for 8 at one point. So continuing onwards, these clips are just kind of in different spots of the game. So this one's going to be, I believe. Oh, this is just a. So this one actually accidentally got clipped in here. I didn't check which video what this was going to be, but this was like an example of just kind of some of the stuff that plagued the Lakers. Like you see Luka get double teamed here. Boom, right there. It's not even a double team. It's really a triple team. Claxton's so worried about Trey Jameson setting the screen that when this gets slipped here, Luka gets his amazing pass off to Gabe Vincent, who makes this excellent skip pass to Dalton Connect. And Dalton just misses it. Sometimes that's just something that happens. Like it's just one of those things where you would expect the guy to knock him down. Dalton had a great game last night, but when the Lakers go through lulls, stuff like that is some of the stuff that happens. Sometimes it's a make or miss league. But that wasn't the point of in this video. This video got lost in the compilation. So let's continue to the very next one. Okay, so this one's a nice one. This is a Lakers defense into a rebound. This is a 3-on-2. Okay, so this is a 3-on-2. Luka's deciding, am I giving it to Dalton? Am I giving it to Gabe? What am I doing here? So Cam Johnson commits to Luka with Zaire Williams. Luka's got two different places that he can go to, but he decides that he wants to take the shot himself. Now the issue here is what he tries to do with that shot. So he sidesteps. So Zaire doesn't really do anything here. He kind of puts his hands up as Luka takes his gather. He picks it up with his right foot. That's where the gather happens. And you see Cam Johnson, he's not actually contesting. Cam's retreating the entire time. Both of these guys are keeping their hands up into themselves. And the reason why they're doing that is because they've probably been coached that, hey, Luka's really, really good at getting guys to get small fouls, like get minor fouls by moving the ball into their arms. And the refs usually call that foul and he gets an and one. But because I think Luka tries to chase sort of this foul, he's trying to get this foul, it sort of forces him to take like an unnatural shot. And he ends up not getting the foul and missing the shot at the same time, as opposed to just taking a regular layup, which would have, rewarded that sort of 3-on-2 situations, which you would expect. So here's another example where Luka gets it off of a kick out. This was towards the start of the game. He's got D'Angelo Russell on him. He's going to beat D'Angelo here. We already know D'Angelo Russell is not that great of a defender, especially on closeouts. You can see his hips are super bad. He's got his right foot leading. Luka correctly attacks his left foot. He's got him beat. Like right here, like right at this moment right here, Luka's pretty much got him beat. Like now what's going to happen is that D'Angelo is going to try and body bump Luka and use his left hand to kind of slow him down. But Luka's got him beat, like dead to rights right here. But what happens? Luka keeps going, and then when he gathers the ball, instead of just going into his gather and finish, again, Claxton is frozen here because he's worried about Luka's. He respects Luka's ability to pass the ball and to get it to Alex Len. Cam can't help these guys. None of these guys are going to dig because they're worried about Luka making the pass for the open three. Gabe had just hit a three to start the game here. So what happens? Like Luka's playing for this pump fake. So like after he makes a move on D'Lo and he's got him beat, he can go up, but he wants to use his pump fake to get D'Lo jumping early in the game, and D'Lo doesn't fall for it. D'Lo not really an athlete that's going to jump and block you to begin with, so he's just kind of standing his ground. But Luka pump fakes and then brings the ball back down, and when that happens, it gives Claxton the ability to go in and swipe that ball away from him. So in this example, like we get a turnover, but like this is like the kind of stuff that I think was making life difficult for both of our guys, like both for Austin and for Luka last night. So again, this is another example of Luka getting matched up. I think this is Day'Ron Sharpe here that he gets matched up. Day'Ron's playing super high. Not that Day'Ron's a bad defender, but he's playing super high here. Luka should be able to beat this matchup off the hip, dead to rights. That's the way I like to say it. That's basically what happens here. And if you take a look, Luka's got him beat. Like this, I love freezing these angles because as soon as this happens, you can see exactly where it is. Boom, right there. As soon as that lean comes in, that defender does that lean. That's that defender basically telling you, "Oh, you got me beat." So I got to try to do some sneaky stuff that refs won't see in order to prevent you from doing it. So Luka's got him beat, but what happens? Like because he feels Day'Ron leaning in on him, Luka decides to try and sort of sell this foul. So I think what he probably tried to do is get his left hand to go under Day'Ron's right hand, but he wasn't able to get it. But because Day'Ron was leaning into him, he's trying to sell that Day'Ron is pushing him. And so again, it ends up being him taking an off-balance shot. So it's like he has him beat, but he's trying to use that aggression against him to draw the foul and get the shot off. And if you don't get the foul, it's more or less like, I don't want to say it's a turnover, but it can be that way, especially if Luka takes himself out of the play, like when you see how this play starts here. Like it's a 5-on-4 going the other way. And then let's see if there's another one here. No, so this is just replaying it from there. So that's essentially what I wanted to get at. When it comes to some of the stuff that these guys are doing on the offensive end, they continue to be brilliant, and I love the advantages that the Lakers are creating. But the larger concern is that when they get these one-on-one ISOs, they're leaning a little bit more towards trying to draw a foul than they are just to make the shot. And I think what they should probably try to do is just continue focusing on playing their game and going from there. So it'll be interesting to see how the Lakers continue to do this because, they're going to have to lean heavily on Luka and Austin until LeBron comes back in these situations. And maybe the Lakers need to mix in some more pick and roll stuff so that they don't have to do this much isolation work and they can just kind of dribble right to their spots and get their shots off. That's probably something that would be helpful if JJ wants to try to prevent it. But I think JJ has to keep a very, very close eye on when this kind of stuff is happening with their offensive players and they're not getting calls. Because if you're not getting calls from the refs and they continue to do this throughout the course of the game, like they did in the Nets game, the risk is that they'll take themselves out of rhythm and they'll never catch that rhythm ever again. So it'll be interesting to see how the Lakers deal with that, and we'll see what the injury situation is. They definitely need their guys back. They need Dorian Finney-Smith to play, Rui Hachimura to play. They need Jackson Hayes back, and then obviously we'll wait and see what LeBron decides to do with his health and what his situation ends up being. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like I said at the start, if you can like and subscribe the video, it certainly helps the video and the YouTube channel out a lot. And if you'd like to join the Detailers Club, you can always do that too as well. And if nothing else, I'll catch you in the next one. Take it easy.